Hello YouTube, I'm Paddy, and in this video I'm going to be making a new handle for my beloved Don Carlos glazing knife, which I have abused to its ruination. So I'm going to be making a new handle from PolyMorph thermoplastic. So this is what's left of the old handle. It was a hardwood of some kind, teak or Oroco, brass collar and brass pins. I'm going to reuse the pins. I'm tapping the pins through the holes in the handle so they protrude equally on either side. This is for the PolyMorph to grab onto and prevent it from detaching and sliding off. To be honest, it's just being overly cautious because this stuff will stick like shit to a blanket. How the PolyMorph works? It's really simple. Pour the granules of PolyMorph into boiling water. When the colour changes from white to clear, it's ready to mould and shape. I would say it's at least 8 years since I bought this bag of PolyMorph, so I was going on a very faded memory of how to do this. That's my excuse anyway. So first mistake, those big chunks of white are remnants of times that I've used it previously. So I have a saucepan of boiling water and I'm pouring in the granules. The granules change very quickly. The mistake I made is with the bigger chunks, which didn't have time to heat through. The granules are good to go, but the chunks aren't. I'm starting to shape the PolyMorph. It's hot to the touch, but not like lava or anything. Bearable if you move quickly. Out go the 2 chunks and back into the saucepan. At this point I realise I don't have enough PolyMorph and add more to the saucepan. Mistake number 2. The temperature of the water has dropped and it's not high enough to melt the PolyMorph. Mistake number 3. Putting the knife back in the water. I'm now trying to chop the chunks into smaller bits in the saucepan. At this stage I've realised I made a balls of it and start pulling it off, and I'm going to start again. And herein lies the beauty of the PolyMorph. No matter how many times you make a bags of it, you can always start again. Now here we are again with freshly boiled water, and I've waited until all the PolyMorph has turned clear. Now to shape it into something that resembles a handle. Now I'm sandwiching the handle between 2 pieces of scrap wood to make either side of the handle nice and flat. Into the freezer for about 10 minutes. Of course you could just wait for it to cool at room temperature, but I don't have time for that. 10 minutes later and it's good to go. So now I'm left with nice flat sides but with horrible overspills. So I'm going to chop them off. Now I'm lazy and I use a jigsaw, but to be honest, a hacksaw would have been better. The friction from the jigsaw blade heated up the PolyMorph and it started sticking to the blade. Okay, so the next bit, like the fool I am, I set it up to record and didn't press the record button. So basically what happened is I took the 2 pieces that I cut off, the top and bottom, and put it back into the saucepan with boiling water, and I stuck it onto either side to bulk it up, because what happened was it was too thin towards the bottom. Yeah, so on to the next bit. Again I'm sandwiching it between 2 scraps of wood to make it nice and flat, and another trip into the freezer. So here we go, fresh from the freezer again. Some overspilled, but looking a lot better. So I'm filing it down to get the rough shape. After a little bit of filing, I have a basic shape that I'm happy with, and onto the sanding. First up we have 80 grit, then 120 grit, then 320 grit. I've just taped the sandpaper onto the bench with a bit of duct tape. This will give a somewhat level and straight lines to the end result. To all the people thinking that this guy is going to cut the hand off himself grabbing the blade and sanding like that, rest assured that this blade was blunt years ago. Although if I tried this with a brand new Don Carlos glazing knife, I would be dead from blood loss right now. After I'm happy with the rough shape, I switch to the 120 grit sandpaper. Once I'm happy with the final shape, I switch to the 320 just to smooth it out. So this is the finished article. It's definitely not going to win any awards for craftsmanship or beauty, but like I could stay going at it and getting it perfectly polished and all the dimples and bumps and stuff taken out of it, but like it's going to get abused, so I'm happy enough with it. So yeah, so PolyMorph is super useful. There's loads of videos on YouTube of people using them for other applications, like levers or knobs for valves on pipes and that kind of thing. So yeah, check it out. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Cheers.